Well, if we're looking into our crystal ball for 2011, it wouldn't be right if we didn't talk about these three.
And still, WBA Super Lightweight Champion of the World, Amir King Khan!
I made a mistake in my past. I know I'm a different fighter. I've come back stronger than ever. I was hit by his best shots and I was still there.
Three British world champions, the current WBA light welterweight champion Amir Khan, WBC super middleweight champion Carl Froch, and Ricky Burns, WBO super featherweight champion. It's a great list. Let's start with Amir Khan, who joins us now live. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you guys. Thank you.
Thanks for coming on and being on the programme tonight.
No problem.
You had a pretty amazing 2010, didn't you? We talked about an amazing end to it as well for you. So how can you top that in the new year?
Well, it's going to be tough. It's, I've got some ambitions this year, to unify the division in this light welterweight division. There's some big names there. You've got the winner of Timothy Bradley and Alexander fighting on the 29th of January. So I want to fight the winner of that fight. And hopefully then probably towards the end of the year move up to 147 and take a fight on there.
Amir, when I spoke to you in your suite about 12 hours or so after the fight, you hadn't had a chance to watch it back. What did you make of that 10th round?
Yeah, the 10th round, when I was in the fight, I knew I got caught with a good shot, and he was going to put his pressure on me, and he's going to keep on coming forward and throw big bombs and stuff. And Maidana was in a good health, and he was in good shape for this fight. For him, it was the biggest fight in his whole life, but when I seen it on TV, it looked like 10 times as worse. And I was thinking, wow, them shots I was throwing, you could see every shot he was throwing was loaded up. With a fighter, power's always going to be there, regardless what round it is. And he hit me with his best shot, and I was still stood there. And he hit me early as well. When I was watching the video, he caught me, I think, like a minute in the round with that overhand right hand, right on the chin, and I stood up, and in a way I kept safe for about 2 minutes, still giving punches back. And end of the day, I was walking back to the corner. Might have been a little bit dazed, but I was finding the 11th round coming back out.
Amir, after the fight, did you sit down with Freddie Roach, and did he sort of go over the fight and sort of say to you, perhaps you made it harder than it should have been, or did you all slightly underestimate Maidana's boxing skills? We all knew he had power. Which one of those two did he do?
I think we knew Maidana had power. I think we underestimated his boxing skills a little bit because, watching his previous fights, he always follows his boxers. But when I fought him, he was always cutting the ring. So you see, he was practicing on how to beat a boxer. But to be honest with you, the first thing Freddie said to me was, it was a great performance. We proved the critics wrong, and he really thought I was overtrained for that fight because it was a long training camp.
Long training camp, wasn't it? Yeah.
That's right. It was a 13-week training camp, and it's a long time because when I like to work, I like to push myself and walk out that gym tired. I don't like going into the gym and not working hard. So Freddie thinks we overtrained for the fight because I remember being in the fight, and I felt muscle fatigue. I didn't really feel tired where my breathing was heavy or anything. It was just that my arms and my legs felt a little tired, but it was a tough fight, and maybe that was one of the reasons as well.
Why has it worked out so well for you in America, Amir? Why has that been a good move for you to go and train there?
I think get away from distractions, really. When I was always in England, there's always phone calls and charity events, and I'm not one of them guys to say no. I like showing my support and doing things for the community. But there's always a time where you have to stop that. And now I'm in America, where not many people know me, not as much as England. I can relax, I can be myself, I can just focus on one thing, which is training. And also my diet and everything. I'm not getting friends phoning me up and bringing chocolate cakes and takeaway food to my house. So really, when I'm away, it's a full-time training camp, really, because I'm watching what I'm eating. I'm eating at the right times. I'm going to sleep at the right time. I'm not getting no phone calls, and I'm totally focused.
But talking about distractions, you're on the front page of The Sun today. What's this about? Right. What's this about you and Katie Price? I know you've been tweeting about this as well today, and saying that it's nothing to do with you. The fact that she's splitting up.
Nothing to do with me. I'm just a normal innocent boy from Bolton, not done nothing wrong. And me and Katie are just good friends, and that's what I tweeted on Twitter just a few hours ago, that I've got nothing to do with it, and it puts me in a really bad position because I'm good friends with Alex Reid as well, and Katie, I know them both quite well, and it just makes a lot of things complicated.
That's why you like it in America, where you can get in a car with any strange woman.
No one cares what I get up to, what I do, so it's quite nice down there. Also, having been in with the best trainer in the world and probably the best gym in the world, I think that makes a big difference.
Amir, you've also been tweeting about your next opponent, and you said yesterday how Lamont Peterson, the American who was on the undercard of your fight against Maidana last month, he's asking for too much money. We're now hearing that Paul McCloskey, the Irishman who's European champion, is in the frame. What can you tell us?
Well, yeah, Peterson was, we put the fight to him and everything was going to plan. We just, I left it with my team and Golden Boy Promotions, but now they're asking for a huge number, which I think he's not worth paying that much. But I want to give a good fight to the UK fans, and I thought Peterson was a great style for me, just getting this fight out of the way. I fought a fighter last time. I want to fight a boxer with some skill, and I think Peterson's the right match for that. And then probably go on from there to unify the division. But at the moment, Peterson's not having it. So we're just looking at other options. We're looking at McCloskey, who approached us. So that's a fight that could be made. I've left it with my team, but McCloskey is an undefeated fighter as well. Not many people know that. He's undefeated European champion, and the next level for him is a world class level. So if he wants to fight for my world title, I'm offering that, and I'm going to agree with that. If he wants to fight for the title, I'm happy to take the fight on. And
so you reckon that
be a good fight?
Do you reckon that could be announced in the next few days, then, Amir?
Well, I hope so. Even if it's not McCloskey, whoever it is that we're looking at, I'm sure in the next few days we can get it all signed, sealed, because I'm going to be going on holiday quite soon, so I like to have it all done before I go away. But I'm going to be back in training camp around about February 11th, so it'll be nice to know who you're fighting, so Freddie can start doing his homework.
And I know you're using your influence outside the ring more and more these days. I mean, you've got this special dinner, a Pakistan flood appeal coming up soon, and you're hosting that.
That's right, I'm hosting an event on the 23rd. It's about the Pakistan flood appeal. All the money's getting raised for the victims over there.
Because you went there to see the aftermath, didn't you?
People affected. Sorry?
You went there and you saw the aftermath, didn't you?
I was there, yeah. I spent about a week over there, and it was really bad, what I saw, and that's one of the reasons I said I wanna do my own charity event. But the fight got in the way there, so I thought I'll do it after the fight. But still, looking at media reports and stuff, it's still really bad in Pakistan. So I like to show my support towards that, and we've got a charity event. Hopefully we'll raise money with help from Oxfam, and we'll go there and we'll spend the money on the right places.
Amir, great to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed for being with us tonight on 5 Live Boxing.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks, Amir.
Thanks,
Take
Amir.
care now. All the best for 2011.